Bullish on AMC Solana short squeeze. Today we're going to be talking on today's live stream about the AMC, the hot token on the Solana blockchain. Remember the one on the stock market? Well, someone ended up making a meme on the AMC one and also the GME. So we're going to be talking about that today. So welcome today to the video. Do me a huge favor by smashing that like button for me. And good morning, good afternoon, and good night for many of you, depending on the time that you're watching this. Let me go ahead and see if we are officially live, which I also went ahead and posted a video, by the way. So let's go ahead and see if we are officially live right now. Happy, how's it going? Thank you for being here today. We're going to go ahead and talk about this. So let me go ahead and start shilling this to my community. Let me go ahead and start posting this on Discord and on Twitter as well. Give me about 1 second. Post that out on Discord. Now let's go ahead and head over to Twitter real quick. Alrighty, so we got that up and running. Now let me go ahead and pull out the stream on my phone. Hey, shoot point blank, how's it going, man? Hope you're having a freaking good one today. Let me go ahead and pull out the live stream on my phone real quick. Give me about 1 second. That way so it can be easier for me to read comments. Shoot point blank says picked up some of this a couple days ago. I do believe it could run to $10 million market cap. Nice, man. You must be in deep profits. I know Vernon was in pretty deep profits earlier on today when he actually went ahead and jumped into AMC as well. So it looks like everything's taking off, right? We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about why I'm very bullish on this narrative and why it might seem a little crazy, right? So I actually just went ahead and I made a video about this literally a few minutes ago, literally before I went live. I made a video to go ahead and get that up and running, but I do see this hitting 10 million market cap and above, right? And I'm going to go ahead and give you my narratives and the reasons why I'm super bullish on AMC short squeeze, right? It might sound a little crazy. You're like, John, what are you thinking, my guy? What are you doing with AMC Solana tokens? Again, but I was talking about how bullish I was about this narrative, right? And one of the biggest reasons why is because of the AMC and GameStop short squeeze that actually happened 3 years ago. The narrative on its own was super massive, and I don't think a lot of people understand how big the narrative actually was back in the day, right? It was one of the biggest narratives that a lot of people were not expecting, and the reasons why I'm bullish on this is because of that reason, right? The narrative. Looking at what another competitor, if you want to compare it to, is GameStop. I really wouldn't consider it a competitor, but with GameStop right here, let me go ahead and get rid of all my freaking drawings. But the reason why I'm bullish on AMC and I'm comparing it with the 10 million market cap is due to the fact that with AMC, what we see, it's very similar structures of patterns, right? And I want to go ahead and talk about that. You know, usually with meme tokens, it's very difficult for patterns to be followed and to actually happen, but so far it's been working out pretty good, right? With GameStop, we did actually see it go as high, a little bit over 28 or 25 million market cap is his all-time high. Maybe we might see it run up even higher during live stream today. But the reason why is, look at this. Look at GameStop right now. Their supply alone is at 6.89 billion, right? AMC only has 1 billion. So this thing has like literally 5 times more of the supply, almost like 6 times more of the AMC supply, right? So keep that in mind and look at where GameStop is right now, 22 6.71 million market cap, right? Is it going to do the same exact thing? I think it's possible. I think AMC could literally, you know, hit over 30 million and above. That is just solely my opinion. I could be wrong, right? None of this is financial advice. It's solely my opinion, but I do believe AMC could go ahead and do that. And I do believe 10 million market cap is around the corner. So every time GameStop tends to pump, we also see a very similar pump with AMC, right? What we saw here with GameStop is that we saw this massive head and shoulders pattern, which I was talking about on my live stream, and we saw this consolidation here, and then we saw this massive breakout as soon as we hit that area of resistance, right, making new all-time highs. So if we were to actually go ahead and compare this chart with the AMC chart, we go ahead and see a very similar move as well, right? If you go right here, even on the 1 hourly, same thing. We see this massive head and shoulders pattern. We see the dump, we see the continuation, and right now we're struggling at the breakout. So if we were to go ahead and break through this thing's going to go ahead and surpass over 1 million market cap, and is going to be doing a very, very similar move to what GameStop is doing. Do you see what GameStop's doing right here? Look at that. Same thing. We could go ahead and draw it out one more time for all those that might have missed it. We see the head and shoulders pattern, follow with not that much consolidation, literally just a massive breakout, and right now it's getting ready for the next leg and new all-time high, right? Maybe GameStop hits 30 million plus market cap and above. The insane volume of 16.64 million, right? AMC, look at that right here. Literally, it's almost like identical to the chart if you actually go ahead and compare, right? You know, can it go the opposite way? 100%. Obviously, these are high risk, high reward kind of plays. This is fully community driven on the AMC side. I'm not too sure how it is with the GameStop side. With GameStop, I'm not sure, maybe the developers are still around, but for AMC, the developer actually ended up leaving, I think a few minutes or a few hours during the launch. But the AMC has been able to do this all fully through the community by itself, right? Nobody else. Literally, the community has been pushing this, and I'm sure a lot of whales too have been pushing this, but this is literally full-on community driven, right? So the community literally has been sending money to the community wallet to go ahead and get listings and all that. How's it going? Go good. Hope you're having a good one today. Good morning. And right now, that's what, as soon as we get more pumps coming in, I think as soon as we get this breakout with 1 million and above, I think this thing's going to send, right? That's just solely my opinion. I see 10 million market cap and above. As I mentioned, I could be wrong. This thing could be completely done with, you know, enter at your own risk. But right now with the narrative that we're seeing is that we're also seeing that right now, AMC stock actually hit 5% on after hours. So a lot of people are screaming for a short squeeze for tomorrow, for later on today morning, depending on the time you're watching this. For me right now, it's nighttime. So for me, it would be later on today morning, that once this thing opens up stock market, Eastern Standard Time on the New York session, we could potentially see AMC do a short squeeze. We're going to see how high it pumps. Maybe if it does continue to pump to the upside, I mean, 5% on after hours is quite a lot for a stock, right? Typically not the kind of action that we see on a stock. So 5% on a stock is actually pretty good. And we're going to see if tomorrow or later on today for a lot of you, in the New York session, if AMC continues to pump. If we do, we're more than likely going to see a continuation to the upside. We might go ahead and see new highs, new records being made, and alongside with GameStop as well, right? Because if you remember the narrative 3 years ago, if you're not, there's a massive short squeeze on GameStop and AMC. GameStop actually went all the way up to $300, and AMC got stopped around 21, I think, before they ended up closing down the exchanges from preventing people from buying. To prevent the short squeeze, but there were multiple short squeezes along the way, right? I was actually a huge holder of AMC options and GameStop as well. I was holding GameStop at like $6 before anybody knew about the short squeeze. I knew about it because I did my research, and that's what I really like to trade. I enjoyed trading short squeeze stocks at the time 3 years ago. And then I came across AMC at around $6, and I rode the wave to $21. And then from GME, I actually rode the wave from $6 all the way to $21, right? One of my biggest regrets, I'm going to be honest with you, because if I would have held on a few days later, that's when GameStop actually pumped from $6 all the way up to $50 and then $300 per stock, right? And I would have been a multi-millionaire on there because of the options that I was holding on to, right? So it just brings back all those memories. I think those were like the best times and the most stressful and the most frustrating times in the market that I had. the GameStop and AMC. Let me know down below if any of you actually went through that movement. It was a really, really fun time. I didn't even know about Wall Street bets at the time. I found out about literally later on, like later on after that happened, after the movement happened, I found about Wall Street bets. I wish I would have known about it earlier on, but I didn't, you know what I mean? I remember there's very, very few YouTubers at the time talking about it, and I think this could be the same narrative, right? Where I think, in my opinion, this could be the same narrative where, you know, people don't believe in it, people think it's dead, people think it's silly, but what people don't understand is the actual connection, the emotional connection that a lot of people went through during the time 3 years ago with the GameStop and AMC movement, right? A lot of those big YouTubers that were talking about AMC and GameStop are no longer here. Like Trades, I believe his name was. It was crazy times, right? When people were talking about $100,000 AMC, and look at the price action of AMC today. Like literally, like people were thinking that AMC was going to hit 100,000, and look at this. This thing never hit 100,000. Never hit 100,000. I think it is all-time high. It says right here 491. I'm not sure if it actually ever did hit that. If let's see where was that, because I don't remember seeing these price actions at 491. Could have been it. I don't remember. I just remember it around here, and this is where they prevented the short squeeze once. It was around this zone. Maybe they did a stock split or something like that, I'm assuming, but I don't remember these prices on AMC. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I don't remember them being this high as 500 bucks. I remember the highs was like around 20, and that's when they stopped the whole entire collapse. So maybe they ended up doing a stock split or something like that. Who knows what they did? That shows us right here that it was at 500. But yeah, people were screaming for 100,000, and that never happened, right? Look at, I mean, if you look at the price action on GameStop too, GameStop stock, you could go ahead and see how that was a little bit over 4 or 5 years ago. See, it doesn't show it right here, but this was with the stock split too. Back in 2021, GameStop hit over $300, right? And I sold around literally like towards the beginning of January. So before, like literally I sold at $21. As soon as I sold, that thing pumped to 50, 100, and then $300, right? So it kind of almost seems like it's mixed up with AMC, but that's actually what the price action happened with GameStop, right? So I do think that because of that narrative, it's super freaking bullish. That's adjusted price for stock split. Okay, so you were right, dude. Going through it now. So you're actually going through the AMC stock split right now, dude. That's insane, bro. So like, you don't understand the connection with it on AMC. There's still a lot of holders that have been holding on to it for the longest. I don't think it would ever hit 100,000. I'm sorry to break your dreams to anybody that does on the stock version, but on the crypto version, I think there's a lot of money to be made, and we're seeing a lot of these meme tokens also pumping, right? So I do believe GameStop is going to go ahead and hit new all-time highs probably by tomorrow or tonight or later on today. For me, it's already tonight. And we could go ahead and see a massive breakout following with AMC alongside with the marketing. They're going to go ahead and get DEX tools up and running. Working right here because they have to update the desk score, but that does cost money, chat. So they need to go ahead and raise funds to the community in order to fix this, and then they're going to go ahead and get DEX tools trending and all of that trending stuff getting done. And as soon as all of that gets done, chat, I do believe that this thing's going to go ahead and skyrocket, and we will see over 10 million market cap, in my opinion. As I mentioned, it is a lower supply too. Let's go ahead and read some comments real quick. Dude, I've been having this gum, and it literally melts very quickly. This morning, AMC bounced off at a all-time low. Yeah, 100%. I did see that. So I do see, if we see this continuation, look, we just hit 1 million market cap live right now. This is such a beauty, man. I'm finally glad. I mean, literally earlier today, it was at like 100,000, and right now we're seeing this thing literally just freaking take off. This thing's just freaking ripping, man. This thing's freaking ripping. So congratulations on anybody jumping on that trade. If you are looking to go ahead and jump onto trade, I would say dollar cost average your position in, or just wait for a dip to happen, right? It looks like the dips do get eaten out pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and talk enough with the Solana tokens. We are seeing a pump overall in the market. We're seeing Doge 1 right here up over 33%, 8.55 million market cap. We see Trump. I don't know who was buying Trump Trump, but somebody was a little sad and disappointed about Trump. Now we're seeing right now over a 61% pump. We do typically, as I always mention, follow with a head and shoulders pattern. We do have a consolidation period before we see a major reversal. You know what this is reminding me of? Remember what Pepe 2.0 was doing? It looked kind of dead, and out of nowhere we see that massive U recovery, if you want to call it, or that massive U with that cup and handle before we see that breakout. So it looks like a lot of these meme tokens are taking off. It's not just AMC and GameStop. We are actually seeing Black Air Force Ones as well, so a project that I was super bullish on that I wish I would have held on to, and that's the reason why I'm holding on to AMC right now at the moment, because I didn't hold on to this, right? I actually G'd it around this zone right here for very small profits, break even in like 30%, and I ended up getting wrecked, right? So if I would have held on to this, I would have stuck to the narrative of a 10x, right? Which I knew would have happened. So right now, overall in the market, we are seeing these massive pumps on a lot of these tokens. We're seeing Byte coming up. We're also seeing a lot of more risk taking going on in the market, right? So one of the biggest reasons why we're also seeing Solana making new all-time highs, we're approaching that 1010 area. I do believe as soon as we go ahead and break above this 1010 area, we are going to get all the moon boys excited. As long as we get this area of support somewhere around here found, we could be expecting Solana to hit our price target of $144. So definitely be on the lookout for $144 coming on our way. I do see the breakout to 110, then probably seeing it come back down to around $97, and then have another major bounce to the upside, right? Reaching 144 and ideally 155 and 150. And what that means for the Solana meme tokens means it's gonna freaking moon, chat. So right now, literally looks like risk on behavior is going on in the market. We talked about it earlier today or later on today, depending on the time that you're watching this. But we did talk about expecting more narratives of risk on assets going on in the market. We are also seeing the DXY having a small little reversal. So we're going to go see where things go moving forward with the DXY, right? This could literally just change the market all of a sudden. But I think a lot of the news with the Fed right now, with the hype of a possible cut up on the interest rates, we could go ahead and be seeing some sort of volatility coming in, right? And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing volatility because of the anticipation of what we have for the Fed meeting on Wednesday. So definitely expect a lot of volatility. If you are going to go ahead and long or short any of the positions, make sure to go ahead and check out BingX and MEXC. Both of these platforms are non-KYC, Bybit being one of the best platforms to trade on, and NordVPN offering 69% off with 3 months extra. And I actually have been hitting a lot of freaking bonuses. I had over $600 in bonuses. You see 327 right here, but I literally took $204 right here in bonuses, and you see bonus right here. So I've literally achieved over $600 in bonuses just from depositing and trading on BingX, right? Most of these exchanges, for example, like MEXC, it's very difficult to hit the bonuses. I probably at the most got like $1, but BingX, bro, like I usually think this is BS, right? The bonuses, I usually always think they're BS, but BingX has actually come through, bro. I've literally been getting free money, over $600 of free money that I've received so far just from depositing and trading on BingX, right? So definitely take advantage of the bonuses down below. Go ahead and start deploying your capital right now. Start playing around with spot or leverage, because we are seeing that higher risk behavior. Obviously, be very careful, but I would suggest all of you take advantage of BingX. If you already have an account, open up another one. Open up 3 accounts. You can literally open up 4 or 5 accounts and take advantage of all the bonuses, right? Because you don't require KYC. So I do have that trade open right here on Solana, and I do have those free bonuses still waiting for me to go ahead and play around with. So definitely go ahead and check that out. I do want to also talk about the fear and greed right now. Looking at the fear and greed, we are getting towards these high levels of greed. We're at 61. We are seeing that excitement on Bitcoin. Remember, we talked about Bitcoin reaching $43,000 is very strong areas of liquidations. So we are going to be approaching that liquidity grab. And I also believe Bitcoin on its own could have that short squeeze breaking past at $48,000, right? I do think Bitcoin will be approaching $54,000 to $57,000 in the coming weeks. So definitely be on the lookout. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a short squeeze around this area right here. It's going to send it up to the upside. all the moon boys are going to get excited about Bitcoin right here. They're going to think it's going to hit $80,000 because that's going to be the narrative. Everybody's going to be like, oh, the bull run's back, the bull run's back. And then as soon as this top is reached, we're going to go ahead and see a retail get wrecked like we usually do. And then we're going to see a massive correction on Bitcoin heading all the way back to $40,000 to $41,000, right? So that's going to be leading probably onto the Bitcoin halving. So before the Bitcoin halving starts, I think we're going to have that last final pump to 54,000, a massive liquidity grab for all the bulls. They're going to do a bull trap and then pushing the price action all the way down, leading all the way down to the Bitcoin halving, right? And talking about the Bitcoin halving, let's go ahead and talk about how many days we have left for the Bitcoin halving. And we have about 72 days at the recording of this video for the Bitcoin halving. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I do expect a lot of volatility coming into the space. Worst comes to worst, Bitcoin gets rejected within the $48,000 range, and this thing comes coming down to $32,000, right? But I think right now everything's lining up to our favor, and we are getting a little bit more of that risk on behavior as well, right? We are seeing some sort of war going on right now with the US, and we are seeing the US 100, which is the US 100, which is a Nasdaq, actually getting ready to break above even a higher high. So we are going to see some sort of continuation before we do reach that top in the market. And once we do reach that top in the market, that's when we're going to be having a breather. As I mentioned, we do have the presidential selection as well in the US, and what Trump wants in office, he wants to go ahead and push for a weaker dollar, right? He wants a weaker dollar. A weaker dollar is good for the stock market and the crypto market, and as well he is also talking about cutting corporate tax down to 15%, right? So the corporations right now, corporate America is getting super excited with the possibilities of Trump being back reelected into office, and that's going to be very bullish for the markets long term, right? The stock market's going to pump, the crypto market's going to freaking pump. Expect more easy money being inflated into the market, and I do see potentially the US dollar possibly reaching towards the levels of 108 to 114. So when Trump does get elected into office, he's going to push for a weaker dollar. We're going to see some sort of dollar collapse, maybe down to 98, or maybe if we get lucky, maybe down to these lower areas. And as that's falling, as we're having that free fall, we're going to see the market make new all-time highs, right? So 2024 to 2025, super bullish. How's it going, Goldie? Hope you're having a good one. Good morning. Haven't seen you in a while. How your positions been going on your trading positions, by the way? Have they been doing good? So right now it's like literally we have every narrative lined up to us, chat. Bullish long term, okay? If we do see a dump and we see like a massive correction happens where, you know, Bitcoin doesn't pump any higher, and let's say Solana doesn't hit that 140 price target, if we were to even see that, which I don't see that really being that big of a problem, yes, we are entering a level of resistance. We do see resistance is around the 102 to the 103. So as long as we continue to see a massive continuation to the upside, and we do see this breakout on Solana, I do see 110, right? And this is where we have a pretty strong area of resistance, which is around 102 to 103 on Solana. So if Solana breaks 102 or 103, chat, best believe 144, I apologize for that, 144 is around the corner, right? So definitely be on the lookout for that. And that's going to take a lot of these meme tokens to new all-time highs. This is the reason why I'm extremely bullish with AMC. I'm extremely bullish with GME, because a lot of hype is coming into the market as Solana's pumping, as GameStop's pumping, as we have one of the biggest freaking airdrops happening, I think tomorrow or sometime this week for Jupiter. The markets are going to go even crazier, right? A lot of liquidity is going to be poured into Solana. So I do see 140 of Solana coming in, maybe even 150, possibly maybe even $200 before we reach the top, right? That's the bullish case scenario. Bearish case scenario is this all of this really collapses. You know what I mean? So that's the bearish case scenario. But we also have Chinese New Year's coming in the next couple days. We see Dragon Coin up 74%. Somebody called this in chat. I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Jonathan, but shout out on that call, man. Good play on that. I wish I would have jumped in, but this thing took off, and I do see a lot of these Dragon coins take off due to the narrative of Chinese New Year's, right? It is the year of the dragon, I believe, and that's the reason why we see a lot of hype. We've also talked about Marvin in the past. Marvin actually has some good updates. They actually collaborated with Solana, with the Solana Marvin. They actually ended up separating. So they are working on a lot of new things. I'm actually in talks right now with the team in Marvin to go ahead and see what are the new things that they've been talking about. I know a lot of alpha has been going on right now. The community is working very, very hard. This is also a fully community-driven project. The beauty about that and the difficult part of it is that, you know, the only control is the community. The beauty of it is the community, right? We know community-driven projects are very, very bullish, and the community at Marvin is super, super bullish, right? So I really like the energy, you know, the atmosphere that Marvin community has, and as long as it continue to push the upside, chat, I do also see this being a massive, massive thing due to the fact that Marvin is one of Elon's dog, and as you can see the narrative right here, my dog Marvin woke me up at 5 a.m. to go outside. So that's the narrative behind Marvin. So I do believe as we get closer to this meme coin season, we could go ahead and expect a continuation to the upside, right? So definitely a lot of bullish things lining up, Chad. It's like it's like the moment that we've all been waiting for, right? I'm not gonna go ahead and get too excited because anything could go ahead and happen in the market, but let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin dominance, and let's go ahead and look at what the total market supply looks like. So as of right now, the market supply is at 1.66 trillion of the market cap. We haven't even approached, you know, the areas that we need to go ahead and see in order for this market to take off, right? I also wanted to go ahead and show you something around with crypto news. See if there's any narrative that's being talked about right now, right? And we do actually see quite a few, and one of them that I want to show you is this one, Solana's WEN token, right? So we actually had one of Solana's tokens that were airdropped that turned out to be a sell the news event, right? Supposedly it has done pretty good, but the reason why I'm super bullish this week is that we are having Jupiter, a token coming out. I think if it's today or tomorrow, correct me if I'm wrong, and I do believe a lot of freaking liquidity into Solana will be coming in, right? So definitely be on the lookout for that. We're also seeing right here OKX starts inscription support for atomical stamps, runes, and dogimals. You know, this is freaking insane, man. I know a buddy of mine now has been talking about dogimals, and this thing looks like it's just going to freaking rip, right? So market overall is looking freaking good. Look at the crypto bubbles. Everything's freaking pumping, right? We don't want to get too excited because you know what happens when we get that excitement coming in through the doors. But I do expect overall a lot of volatility coming into the space. So we'll see. Let me know down below if you have any other questions or anything you want to go ahead and talk about specifically about what we're seeing in the markets. So let's go ahead and read some comments. Do me a huge favor and smash that like button for me, please. Good morning, John. Got liquidated with the BTC pump yesterday. Fortunately, it's almost payday. Were you shorting Bitcoin, bro? Sana, I feel you, man. I totally feel you. I actually got liquidated yesterday, too. I got liquidated going long on Solana, unfortunately, bro. So I definitely feel you on that. The thing that sucks for me is that my payday already passed. So like I'm pretty much screwed until the end of the month until I get paid again. So I'm very, very disappointed because this trade right here would have been a $5,000 trade that I would have been up in profits. And the problem with that I took on, man, is I didn't put any stop losses, right? I have the force a bad habit of not putting any stop losses because that's what I used to do with the meme tokens trading on leverage, right? Putting no stop losses. Leverage trading on meme tokens and putting a stop loss is a recipe for disaster, right? So I'm very, very disappointed in myself, dude. I totally feel you, how you feel with that. I would have been up in deep profits right now on my Solana trade. The problem that I had was I didn't know how to navigate BingX too much. I've literally just been using BingX for probably, it wasn't even 24 hours when I longed my position, and I was getting close to liquidation at 80%, and I was half asleep, and I panicked, man, because when I first woke up, I was only down $70. I went back to sleep for another 2 to 3 hours. I woke up to my portfolio being down 70%, and I'm just looking at Solana just dump, man, literally in front of my eyes, and I'm panicking, not knowing what to do, because I was half asleep, and I didn't know how to move my money. So if I would have, you know, I was like literally 1 second away from adding margin, and as soon as I figured it out, I got liquidated. And I'm very, very pissed, man, because I would have been up deep in profits, and this is the reason why I longed my position, right? Because I knew Solana was going to approach these levels. I was super, super bullish, so I totally feel you. So right now, my last resort, man, my last resort, as I really wouldn't want to say this, but my last resort right now to make up for the money that I've lost getting liquidated is literally AMC. AMC is like literally my only hope right now at the moment to go ahead and make up for the loss that I got liquidated on. The good thing is that I actually hit some bonuses, right? I actually hit some bonuses. So I had over $600 in bonuses on BingX. As you can see right here, I have $327 still available. And this is actually one of my positions that I use, $200. And as you see, bonus right here. So fortunately, I got still another $600 from BingX. So if you want to go ahead and leverage trade and long the market or short the market, I wouldn't suggest shorting the market just yet. But check out BingX right here, non-KYC, MEXC as well. Bybit being one of the best platforms, and NordVPN offering 69% off with 3 months extra. But BingX, man, usually I always think that these bonuses are scams, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. MEXC is really difficult to get bonuses. I probably only received like $1, and I've traded with over 20 grand. And BingX, I've traded with only a few hundred to a few $1,000s, and I've been able to make over $600 just by literally clicking on this link, creating an account, and taking advantage of the free bonuses that they're offering to the community, right? So I would suggest all of you go ahead and take advantage of these bonuses. If you already have an account, open up another one, man, and deposit money and start trading. These were very, very doable trades, very, very easy money, and you get to keep the money as well, right? You can't take out the money you can only take out your profits, but you can't move the money that you receive, right? So if you receive $600, you can't pull it out, but you could use it in the platform of trade and then keep all the profits, right? Which, regardless of the case, it's still free money, right? A lot of these exchanges don't give you free money just for deploying capital on their exchange. So to me, I always thought there were scams, but it's actually great to see that, on BingX, the bonuses are very, very achievable. Some of these exchanges are very impossible to hit. For MEXC, I found it very, very difficult to hit their bonuses. They do require like very, very high volume, but that's also because they do have like very, very high leverage with meme tokens, right? So it's easier to achieve that. So, but BingX has been really, really easy, man, to achieve all that money. So I'll definitely go ahead and check them out. Stream looks good. I'm not in a trade, are you? I got liquidated, Goldie, and I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm trying to trade. I'm trying to change up the style in the stream. I got in talks with a branding manager and told me pretty much that the channel is too much of the distraction with all the animations going on. So we're going back to this cleaner look. I haven't done this in a while. So definitely go ahead and be expecting a whole entire rebranding of the channel. And hopefully we could go ahead and grow, right? Because that's the goal. The goal is to go ahead and grow even quicker and faster. And we're going to go ahead and test if that's the reason why we've been kind of lacking. And also right here too, I wanted to show you, if you go to one of my previous videos right here on Bullish on AMC, I've actually have a new setup on here as well. Look at this setup right here. So I think it's better. It's going to be a lot easier for all of you to go ahead and look at the charts, and it's going to be easier for everybody to go ahead and know what exactly I'm talking about, right? So definitely excited for the new changes. Obviously, it's a little different, a little hard. I'm not gonna lie to you because I really do like the animations. I feel like these are kind of boring, but we're gonna go ahead and do what the branding manager has told us, right? He obviously has grown a lot of successful YouTube channels, so hopefully we're the next on the list, right? But I'm not in a trade right now. I've already gotten fully liquidated, but I really do appreciate all of you tuning in today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and I'll catch all of you on